Senator, good morning, and thank you so much for your time.
Good morning to you, Joy, and I hope you're taking care of yourselves. We appreciate your voice needed on the air.
Thank you so much, and the same to you. And let's first talk about New Jersey, about your home state. I have a headline here that says, per the New York Post, that testing sites, at least one testing site, has reached capacity, and it reached capacity 35 minutes after opening. The governor, Phil Murphy, has issued stay-at-home orders for nearly all of the state's 9 million residents. Can you give us the state of play in New Jersey? And from your point of view as a senator, are there enough tests available?
So the short answer to are there enough tests is no. Our governor, however, is doing an extraordinary job in getting these drive-through testing centers up. The first one was up and it was oversubscribed right away, but we have a few others that are online to come up very, very soon. But again, we are still doing nationwide a fraction of the number of tests that we need to do. A lot of this was a problem caused by this administration that they did not really do enough proactively to prepare this country, had mistakes and bungles along the way. But a lot of our governors, particularly the governor of New Jersey, is doing an extraordinary job making the best out of a bad situation and slowly catching up. So New Jersey, as in other states, will see the numbers of tests being done continue to go up. One word of caution to all Americans: do not go get a test if there is no reason to get a test. If you're showing no symptoms and haven't been around somebody that had the coronavirus, don't clog our testing centers. One of the things you might want to do before you go get tested is just consult with your doctor to see if you need one, because what you do if you go there, then you prevent others who might need a test, and based on the results of that test, we could be actually helping to bend this curve. So again, make thoughtful decisions when it comes to testing, please.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing to note. Let's talk about this bill for just a second. I think the concern from a lot of people who are tweeting at me and texting at me, that the big concern is that what Republicans and Steve Mnuchin are trying to negotiate is a giant bailout for companies that already got $1 trillion in tax cut money that middle-class taxpayers paid for, and that they want to bail out, but that the emphasis is that small businesses, like the one that you recommended, the restaurant you recommended that myself and the crew go to when we came out and interviewed you in New Jersey, you recommended a great small business that we went to. Businesses like that are laying people off. And the idea that those businesses will have to get a loan and go into debt, while big companies like McDonald's that don't pay their workers fair wages get basically just free tax money, it disturbs a lot of people. Is that something that Democrats can stop?
Yeah, we have a lot of leverage to do two things. One, let's understand that this is catastrophic. It's not just about businesses having to stop. Many businesses may face permanent closure if this lasts for a number of months. Our small businesses in America are the backbone actually to job creation. And so we understand the gravity of this crisis right now. And what we are fighting for is to make sure not loan money, not even zero-interest loan money, but that there's a tremendous amount of grant money available, and that we're taking steps to help them with those fixed costs that they close but yet still want to stay in business and emerge on the other end of this, that they have resources to make sure they can continue to pay the rent, to pay the utilities as well. On the other side, there's a real concern as the airlines, for example, come to us for help, that these are folks right now that have used the last years of this incredible tax giveaway to large corporations and to the wealthiest in our country. They didn't use those to create a sort of rainy day funds for crises in the industry. What they just did with tens of billions of dollars of their windfall profits from that corporate tax break that Donald Trump gave them was to do stock buybacks, something illegal in the 80s, just to manipulate their stocks up and get their incredible benefits, especially CEO pay and benefits that are tied to those stock rates. Democrats are very aware of this, and I'm confident that we are pushing the line on making sure, especially for that industry, that there are things put in place to really stop that kind of behavior and possibly make sure that benefits to corporations inure to the benefit of employees. Now, this is an ongoing negotiation. It's something I'm highly skeptical of. We have to make sure that we use this as an opportunity to get reforms in our corporate culture, and that means everything from environmental concerns that myself and other senators have been pushing. Airlines and others could be taking more practices to help with global warming, but the number one concern is obviously workers, workers, workers.
Yeah, and you wrote a letter, or you wrote a piece in Yahoo Finance that's published that says that senators should not own individual stocks. And, you know, this, of course, is at a time when there are two members of the United States Senate, Senators Loeffler of Georgia and Burr, who's the Senate Intelligence Committee chair, appear to have traded not long after receiving a very highly classified briefing that they did not turn around and share with their constituents. Can it be added to the bill? That can that language be added to the bill to make sure that individual senators cannot buy and sell stocks based on this crisis?
Yeah, I mean, could it? Yes. Will it? I doubt it. And frankly, all the things that we want to pick up on the Democratic side by pushing for reforms and the trades that we're making, the crisis, the urgency right now for me and others is helping people. I think when this settles down, there will be the public outrage already about this story. But I think when people are not worried about their rent and paying their student loans and finding out how to have food in their pantries, I think when these crises are gone, we need to have a serious conversation about staving off potential corruption in this institution. And one of the things that fundamentally senators should not be doing, in my opinion, is trading individual stocks. There's too much information that we have available to us that it creates conflict after conflict or potential conflict or even just even appearance of impropriety is unacceptable. But right now, Americans, the urgency is their well-being and their health.
Well, Martha Stewart, I believe, went to prison for doing something very similar. Very quickly, we are out of time. You sent a letter to Mitch McConnell requesting to add aid to HBCUs, to minority-serving institutions that are going to be hit doubly hard, that are already struggling financially. Did you get a response for $1.5 billion? Did you get a response from Mitch McConnell?
You know, this is something I was working on till late last night, talking to some of our lead negotiators. I've got some ally or two on the other side of the aisle that have been helping me on this. We have to do for our HBCUs or minority-serving institutions, many of these folks that are always in or have been for a long time in financial difficulties because they're reaching out to people that don't often have that much resources. So I have some confidence that we'll make some progress. It's still in negotiation. And I want to say, I know we're out of time, but to everybody out there, our strength comes as a country when we pull together and not pull apart. Everybody, please take care of yourselves, but also reach out and help other people. This is the kind of time we should be calling each other, encouraging each other, and keeping our spirits up during what is going to be a very long period of isolation for many people.
Senator Cory Booker, thank you for saying that. Thank you very much. Be safe out there.
Thank you. Thank you very much.